Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Mobi. I'm Dr. Mobi, and today we are fortunate to have great guest, Stephanie Mintz. Let's welcome Stephanie. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm real excited to be here and talking to your audience and being able to share a little bit about me and some really great strategies about how to keep a connection with your partner and also help you reconnect if you're having some struggles with that.
Okay, yeah, that is exciting. So let's get your work and tell me a little bit about your counseling or work you do what kind of therapies do you offer?
Okay, so I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in California, and I've been doing that for a while and helping couples. They are strengthening their communication, enhancing their hope, laughter, and intimacy, all really important aspects in relationships. I've never done therapy pretty much the typical way. I've designed my own type of therapy. It's
Mhm.
got a little bit of the traditional, and then I ended up designing my own unique strategies and concepts to help my clients. And what I ended up realizing was with these strategies and concepts, my clients were reaching their goals a little bit more quickly than traditional therapy. Was my experience in seeing my clients. And so with that, I discovered that actionable steps are really something that's important for my clients. They want to be able to leave sessions feeling like there's something they can do themselves to move forward towards their goals. So now what I've done is I've broken them off, and now I'm offering those strategies. They're step-by-step guidelines that are tailored to each individual client for strategy sessions. And I have a program that I work with my clients, 8 weeks and a year
Mhm.
programs. And now I am a relationship and marriage consultant, offering the strategies. So that's actually what I'm doing now, is consulting.
Mhm.
And I've moved into that area. And so I have these incredible strategies that I love sharing with my clients.
Mhm.
It's been amazing because it's brought a lot of hope to my clients when
Mhm.
they feel like they're in a lull or they're really struggling in their relationship. They start getting excited about the idea of improving and strengthening their relationships to really enjoy their partner again, looking towards the future.
Yeah, that is very, very important. Tell us also about, you see all with the marriages going around, and maybe the overall, actually, the marriage is probably rate is down, right? So, but
Yes, unfortunately, especially with COVID right now, it's a really difficult time in a lot of different ways and for people, and they're experiencing different things with it. And one of the areas is that the divorce rate seems to be going up.
Mhm.
Now, if you think about it, no time ever has anybody ever spent 24/7 together, let alone for months on end. So
Mhm.
now we're talking about inside a lot of the times, small spaces, a lot of the time, staring at the same four walls, days on end, being on top of each other. We kind of start getting too relaxed. We're arguing with our partners. We're trying to figure out how to do work and home life because it's all kind of jumbled into one. And people are really starting to argue. Their communication is really getting difficult, causing this strain in the relationships. And people are looking at it going, this isn't the right relationship and this is too difficult. We don't love each other anymore. We can't enjoy each other. And the relationships people are breaking up or getting divorced. I feel that there are ways that a lot of couples can work on their relationships. Maybe not all, but a lot of them, to really get back to enjoying each other again. But there are steps that need to be taken in order to do this. Very actionable steps that each week, new strategies to implement to, again, create the intimacy, have fun, enjoy each other, even if you're stuck in four walls. So right now, even more so, focusing on our relationships is really important.
Mhm. So what you're saying is, of course, this is a stressful time. Like any stressful time, you can put or make or break relationships because that what happened. And I remember I had a friend, and they, of course, they were married, but they were having issues with their relationship, and they thought adopting somebody would help strengthen their relationship. Actually, they divorced within 1 year of adoption. So that becomes an important discussion that when we have any relationship, it could be, a couples or any staying together relationship or even friend. And if there is a stressful time or if there is a stress test, it can really fail that or the test, right? So it's like any relationship we can count. So tell us about, you also counsel people who are not in a marriage but they're living together.
Yeah, so I actually, I'm a consultant that works with people who are dating, pre-engagement. I highly recommend pre-engagement before you ask the question and maybe buy the ring, before you have the experience of the beautiful proposal, making sure that not only are you just on the same page of things that you already know and that there's the excitement and the chemistry, but that you're asking all the right questions to really make sure you're on the same page. And there's a lot of questions and very detailed questions you want to talk about to be able to understand each other and have a plan and the same expectations going forward. And a lot of people, there can be some uncomfortable, very private thoughts and ideas that sometimes people avoid getting deep into, but they're really important. So I actually recommend pre-engagement. If pre-engagement hasn't happened, premarital. And it doesn't mean, some people have negative feelings about premarital counseling. They feel like if you're already having problems, then you shouldn't get married. But
Yeah.
premarital counseling isn't necessarily that. It's about strengthening. It's about getting on the same page, making sure you ask the right questions, and so many questions, and really talk through them. Now, if you have differences, it's allowing you to talk through so you can get on the same page. If you haven't asked the questions, you start asking them. It allows the best possibility for the potential for that marriage to be successful. Honestly, I'll be honest. When we say I do in a wedding for the marriage, I actually feel like there's 3 words that aren't spoken that are there. And that's I do accept all of you.
Oh, that
Okay. And so
okay.
you want to make sure that in order to accept all of you, that you are actually making sure you know the person, you know their wants, their needs, their dislikes, what their plans are, and vision for their future, so that you can say, I do accept all of you.
So they can say that, accept all of it. Now, all of you means all of you as a person or all of the friends and relatives around?
Sorry, that's a big laugh because that's an interesting question. So
I
to
know.
start with, it's all of you, which means for your good, for your difficult, for all of those things. If there's something that's bothering you about the person, you want to talk about it before you get married to get on that same page to understand how that's going to work. And if it doesn't work and you're really upset, don't think that the day after the wedding, it's all going to get better. So you want to talk about that before. Now, the truth is, yes, so the person that you're marrying comes along with friends and family. So you want to know upfront what that's going to look like. And it is, to an extent, being able to accept their world. You might not like all of their world, but learning to accept it before you get married. Because once you're married, and if you haven't said anything prior, then the person's going to be like, well, why didn't you say something before? This is me, this is my world, and now you're telling me. So there is an acceptance, but here's the thing, is you can talk about your feelings about it to really work through it. It's not just a I accept it or I don't. That's where the communication comes in. That's where communication is so important. It's more important than anybody ever recognizes.
Mm. And so what you're saying is if they discuss that, or they better to have somebody like you, professional, sort that out too. And that's also true. Actually, it's a very important discussion that not everybody should think of discussing with a marriage counselor or dating counselor as end of their relationship. Actually, it is not like that. I think it probably maybe rename that and say dating expert. Okay, whatever, right? Dating gurus, whatever.
It's more like I'm a create the relationship that gets you excited for your future consultant.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
it's creating it. It's helping you create it. It's not this is a no or this is a yes. It's how do we work with what is? How do we maybe make some changes? How do we accept other aspects? And if you can't or won't, is this the best relationship for you? Because honestly, not everybody is going to be the right fit for every person. And you want to make sure that you're going to grow together, not grow apart.
mm. Okay, also let's discuss some of the dating. Is it more now we have online dating? Of course, world has changed. So there's a lot of online dating where people would not never reveal, or they would take it differently. Looking at the camera, or maybe their true picture or not. What they write, they probably write the best out of them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But do you see that is creating more problem, or is that has to be compatibility type software?
So it's a really good question because I actually think that, with COVID and more people needing to meet online because we're not able to go out to different things,
Mhm.
actually can be a really big benefit.
Mhm.
So here's the thing. In the beginning of a relationship, there's chemistry, excitement. We're putting on our best outfit and getting all ready. And there's all that feelings that we get swept up in. And we ask a lot of questions, but then once the physical comes into play, it can be a lot of fun and it's really exciting. And people then focus on that aspect a bit more. And they may stop asking as many questions to get to know the person and having the deep but fun, interesting conversations because they're in that butterfly period and first kiss and first overnight and things like that. So that becomes the focus. I actually think because people are having to be so cautious and not meeting up so quickly,
Mhm.
that you get an opportunity, almost a forced opportunity, to really get to know somebody. You get to ask the questions, you get to see them in their element. After many conversations online, you're going to start to relax and we all put our best foot forward. And that doesn't mean that it's a lie. Hopefully it's not.
Mhm.
But we're not necessarily always presenting the things that maybe we don't think are the best aspects that we love about ourselves. So
Mhm.
after spending many times of talking to somebody online, we all relax. We start to show them who we are, all of us. The good, the difficult, the confusing, the silly, all of those pieces. So you really get to know somebody on a deeper level before any physical gets involved. And so I actually think it can be a really good benefit because it's somewhat forced, because I think a lot of people don't do it to begin with, typically in the modern dating world.
Mm. So what you're suggesting is to kind of know each other before kind of going further, and kind of going get better idea of what you're dealing with or what you're gonna. And it's normal that nobody's going to tell everything on first, or their secrets or whatever, or maybe there is hesitancy. There are things someone might not like about, and they are also afraid of losing, right? So those, but that they don't know, that could be their strength,
It
right?
could be, and the truth of the matter is, nobody can hide who they are forever. It's exhausting. You have to think of all the potential lies, what you've told them, what you haven't. I don't believe that anybody can keep up the fake, the costume, the mask of themselves forever. So you know what? Maybe not right away, but slowly, you really want to be yourself. You really want to be yourself from the beginning, but you really want to open up fairly quickly, because if the person's not going to accept that, or you can't work through that, then maybe that's not the right person for you. Not that they're a bad person or not a good person for somebody else, but isn't it better to then move on if you really can't work it through, to meet somebody who might be a better match for you? So I was going to ask you, Dr. Mobi, do you remember your first kiss?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
How quickly, what number date was your first kiss?
What number date was my first kiss? Oh yeah, it must be probably 10th.
Okay, so, and was that a relationship that lasted a long time?
No.
No. Okay, so let me ask you what happened.
Uh, I think we went along for probably a year, but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Do you feel like at the end, when it didn't work out, did you actually, when you think about what ended up breaking up the relationship, did you see any of those hints in the beginning?
No. Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Well, you did a really great job. And like I said, not everybody is the right match. And it's good to recognize it and then be able to move on and to meet the person that might be your better match.
That's true. That's true. And that is true that we think that could be your better person, but actually there could be way better person, and you never thought in life. So yeah, that's true. That's what I was gonna say. That's true that you basically um, don't close yourself ever, because you never know where life leads you, or who is waiting for you, or who might you meet, right? so
Yes,
so
absolutely.
so I think you should never take it to the heart. There's nothing about it. It's just there are things some people might not like or might like about you, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I actually have a strategy for dating,
Hmm.
and it's called Dating Smart.
Hmm.
So what this strategy is getting to know somebody. So this is a perfect one for people who are doing online dating right now.
Hmm.
So the idea is, everybody's heard of red flags, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now if you have a neon red flashing sign, that might be one to say this is not the right person, and very quickly kind of remove yourself from that dating aspect. But there are red flags, but I actually say there are mini flags,
Hmm.
okay? And what a mini flag is, it's the idea that, I'm not sure, that seemed like something that I wouldn't be okay with, but I don't know yet. Maybe that was just one time. So instead of saying, "Oh, I don't like it, I'm out," because a lot of people kind of just move on. They feel like there's a lot of options right now, especially with online dating. "Oh, I didn't like that. Click on the next profile," right?
Hmm.
So here's the thing: if you don't give somebody an opportunity to really get to know them and even to talk about it. So let's use jealousy as an example. So jealousy, I believe, can be a very difficult and not helpful and potentially toxic aspect in a relationship. You want to feel strong in the relationship, in the dynamics that you have.
Hmm.
So let's say let's say there's somebody and they see that you're a couple at a dinner table at a restaurant pre-COVID, and the waitress hits on the let's say a man, okay, the boyfriend in the relationship, and the woman says, "Ooh," he starts getting into a little something with her, and she gets a little jealous. Okay, after the waitress leaves, server, she says, "That's uncomfortable. What were you doing? I can't believe you talked to her so long. You were flirting." So she's expressing jealousy.
Hmm.
Now, The guy in the relationship is going, wow, that's a whole lot of jealousy. I was just telling this server how I thought she was doing a great job. Now, he might say, I'm out, that jealousy, that's too much for me. But here's the thing. We want to look at it. We want to go, okay, was that a one time? Is that something she experienced? She does a lot. So I'm going to file it away. I'm not going to say I'm out. I'm going to file it away. Now, I'm not going to forget, because a lot of people push the signs aside and they go, it was one time, it's no big deal. Or I'm okay with it, it's no big deal. Or maybe I misinterpreted it. So we ignore it. But that often might come back later on. We want to file it, we want to remember it, and we want to check back in with it later. Maybe have some conversations, see what other relationships were like, go out to another restaurant, be around other people. And now you get more information. Is this a pattern? Is this an actual behavior that is appearing in the relationship? Now, if it isn't, okay, now you have information and jealousy isn't an aspect with this person. But if you see it a lot, before you even leave the relationship, my suggestion is to talk about it. Let the person know in a nice way. I've noticed over some time that there's some periods where you get jealous. That's something that makes me really uncomfortable, and something that, I'm not feeling like that would be healthy for me and good in a relationship. I just wanted to talk about it with you. Now, she may say, I didn't realize I was doing that, or I will work on it. Then you have the opportunity, you've had good communication, and now you guys can work on it. And now you can see, is she going to be able to, and is she going to work on making the change? And that gives you more information. So when we get hints of things that we might not like, you file them away because you don't want to ignore them, but you check in with them. You maybe ask questions, finding out about other aspects in their life that might relate to it. And you see if those behaviors keep coming up. And if they do, you still don't need to leave. Have a conversation with them first. They may not even realize they're doing it, or nobody's told them that was bothered. And then see, give them an opportunity to hear you and to actually work on changing if they want to. So that's my dating smart strategy.
Yeah. So what you're saying is basically work. So you give little work up for everyone to kind of work their strategy to deal with the problem, right? So one by one.
You want to, yes, each person. So this would be a strategy. If somebody came to me, an individual who was in the dating world, and they came to me and said, I've been meeting these people and it's not working out, what's happening? I'd ask them about their experiences in dating. When you broke up, did you see those signs before, if you think about it? And oftentimes you are an example of when it doesn't happen, because nothing is always. But there's oftentimes people break up about a certain situation that they actually saw in the beginning that they ignored. So I would suggest this dating smart strategy of really focus and pay attention when you're getting information from the person that you're dating, and check into it more. Communicate about it more before you jump in and out of relationships. So that would be an example of what I would share with one of my consulting clients. Now, if somebody is in a relationship, I have strategies to help them be able to communicate in other ways, as well as finding ways to connect and reconnect in those relationships.
Also, I would like to ask you basic, kind of simple, yeah, straightforward, is that a lot of people ask us, and especially teenagers nowadays, both actually, minorities too, and that they have hard time finding good matches or any good anyway. So should they be going to bars, churches, synagogues?
So it's a really good question. In terms of, everybody is different. So I really believe you need to have commonalities. Does everything have to be the same with your partner? No. It's interesting to have different interests for yourself, and then you can grow with your partner and teach them things. So, but there does need to be some commonalities. So meeting somebody that would be more likely of a match would be doing things that you enjoy yourself, that you genuinely do like, not pretending, I hate cooking. I buy frozen food, but I'm going to go to a cooking class to meet somebody, because then that's going to be a big difference.
Yeah.
You want to choose something that you enjoy yourself. So if you enjoy and it's important to you to go to church, then yes, go to church events, because you're going to meet somebody with similar values and experiences and things that they enjoy doing going to those events. If you like hiking, go and join a hiking group, because there will be commonalities there that you can enjoy together. Also, I will tell you, if you're doing an activity and you're meeting people there, it makes it a little bit easier to start conversations and to have conversations flow in the beginning, because you're not going to be, are you single? What are you looking for? Here's my resume. Here's your dating resume, right? You're going to actually be able to talk about the activity. So where else have you hiked before? What was a good experience? Oh, you went to a waterfall? I'd love to go to a waterfall with you. It allows more open of being able to talk in the beginning, and then it can maybe lead towards a date. But I believe for people who are trying to meet others, you want to find something you enjoy so you can meet other people who enjoy it as well.
Okay, that is wonderful. Thank you. We have, believe me or not, we have reached the end. So it was such a fascinating discussion. So I wish you can come again and give us a little more kind of your seminar thoughts, and because you can maybe do we can do a dating tips and premarital tips or whatever, and then so we can divide it into two three, for like people who are in relationships for long, they are married for long and they can rejuvenate their love, whatever. And then so we'd love to have you back if you can, and then give us tips. It was amazing. That's the like most crucial thing right now. A lot of people are having problems, so I like to help them. So
I would love to. And yes, I have great strategies at different time periods and cycles in somebody's dating life and relationships. Everything from dating, pre-engagement, premarital, right after marriage, right after having a baby, maybe considering divorce. So I have lots of strategies. I'd love to come back on, share some of my strategies. But I also want to let you and your audience know that for my consulting, I have different programs that are customized to each client that you can work with me. 2 months, I do a 6 month, and I do a year program where you would get tailored strategies to what's going on in your situation that you'd like help with. And so I'd love to answer any questions or set up a consultation for your audience. I am also offering a free bonus strategy if you follow the link that Dr. Mobi is going to give you, so you can practice that strategy. If you'd like to reach me, and I'd love any feedback or questions or anything that you found that was a good takeaway for you in this interview, you can reach me at strategicrelationshipconsulting.com. You can go to my Instagram, Strategic Relationship Consult, and you can email me, Stephanie at strategicrelationshipconsulting.com, as well as my Facebook page. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to see how I can help you enhance your hope, laughter, and intimacy in your relationship and dating life.
well, that's wonderful, and thank you for coming on this show. And for everybody, please check her website, and she's great. As you can listen to her, and you can listen to her for hours. Yes,
Thank you.
it is so nice. Okay, you take care, and thank you for watching our show. Give us feedback and Twitter, Facebook, whatever you like, and check out her bonus strategy session. That's really cool. Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.